Welcome to Cold Coffee Chats, the podcast where we dive into the beautiful chaos of motherhood, the ups and downs of marriage, and the journey of growing our faith. I'm Brittany.
I'm Aubrey.
And we're your host. Each week, we'll gather around the table, coffee cups in hand, to share stories, insights, and a good dose of laughter. Whether you're navigating the sleepless nights of new parenthood, balancing the demands of family life, or seeking deeper connections in your marriage and spiritual journey, this is the space for you. Together, we'll explore the real, the raw, and the relatable moments that shape our lives. So go find that cup of now cold coffee that you probably laid down somewhere, get comfy, and let's chat about the beautiful mess of life.
Sponsored by White House Foods, serving generations of consumers since 1908.
Okay, we are back with Angela Stokes with RL of Winchester.
That's a really long.
I know. I was like, because I was like, where are we going to go from here? So we are obsessed with RL of Winchester. Aubrey is.
I always go in being like, I just need clothes. That's it. And somehow I always end up taking something that is bigger than my car. And I was telling Brittany this. I was like, this is something I haven't seen advertised, but I realized that this Christmas was that because every year I have gotten their big Christmas gift from RL because it's secondhand. And this year I didn't have, I saved it for their birthday. And we went to put something together Christmas Eve night. And I was like, this is like an unspoken advertisement for RL. Everything's already put together. You don't have to deal with all the small pieces. Like, obviously, it's cheaper than
the
buying.
dollhouse.
If they had, yeah.
And before we get too far in this, Angela, can you give us the correct pronunciation of RL?
Yes, you had it right. It's Rialanas.
Yes.
A lot of people say Raylanas. Yeah. A lot of people call me Ria. I'm not Ria. There is a Rialanas. Rialana Reiner is the founder of Rialanas. So she is a real person. We get that question all the time. But yes, the correct pronunciation is Rialanas.
Rialanas.
When I found out that she was a real person, I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then she liked one of the reels that I had made. And I was like, she liked.
She's amazing. They're an amazing family. Yeah.
Yep. So cool.
They're in Arkansas.
Okay.
How long have they been a company?
Oh, gosh. I think they just hit 25 years now.
Yeah, it's been how many sales do you know how many they have in total, around the country?
It's over 100 now. I want to say between 110 and 120. I lost
that's a lot for 25 years. That's a huge growth.
Yes, she's grown tremendously. She actually started it in her living room.
Oh.
And invited people into her house to shop her kids' clothes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it all started. And then it grew from there.
Wow.
Yeah. She started in her living room.
And if you haven't been there, Rialana sale, it's huge.
It's huge. It's a upscale consignment sale, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That rhymed.
But Angela, do you want to talk a little bit about what it is and how it works?
Yeah.
For moms who might not have heard of it yet in Winchester or near the area. People travel all over the place to come.
They do travel, and we like to try to get a gauge of how far people travel to shop with us. We always ask that question. I mean, they come as far as, Richmond further south and then up in Pennsylvania. So it's a span. Some people even get hotels. It always blows my mind, the distance that people travel to come shop. But I mean, if you're expecting a baby for the first time, you can really get everything you need and you can save thousands of dollars. Yeah. Because a lot of the stuff we get is brand new because, as you know, you don't use
and
stuff
really
for
good
very
brands.
long. Right. A lot, especially clothes with tags on them. You don't use the stuff. You get it all for your baby shower and then you don't use half of it. So you can consign it and benefit another mom. But really, it's about connecting the community, both from moms selling things that their kids for that season no longer use. So we do 2 sales a year. So there's a spring fall sale spring summer sale and a fall winter sale every year. So moms who want to make some money can consign their children's gently used items and then connecting with other moms in the community who are looking to clothe their kids for the upcoming season. And as we know, it's super expensive to do that, especially now. Everything is so much more expensive.
Yeah. If anybody has ever met me, then they know, they've heard about Rialanas, especially if Paige is with me, because especially at church, on Sunday, everybody, because her wardrobe, basically, I'm 80% of her wardrobe comes from Rialanas. The other part is either hand-me-downs from my cousin or my mom. But most of her wardrobe comes from Rialanas and the cutest stuff. and like name brand things that I would never buy full price. But and
It's like a flex when someone's like, "Oh, her outfit's so cute." I'm like, thanks, Rihanna.
yeah, that's
Oh, thank you.
me and Aubrey all the time. Just yesterday,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, Rosemary's boots are so cute." And she was like, "Thanks, Rihanna."
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I know. See, I don't have any girls, so if I did,
Oh.
I would be in trouble because I would be shopping all of that boutique stuff.
Yeah.
But boys, though, on the other side, are so hard on their clothes that it is just
Yeah.
not worth it to go
Yeah.
spend all that money on like Under Armour. Those
Yeah.
never go on sale in the store.
Yeah.
So you're spending $40, $50 for one pair of pants that they're just going to destroy
Yeah.
the next week. So I get all my stuff there as well. So we
Yeah.
kind of just wait for the sale every season and then stock up from there. I don't really try to buy anything in between unless I absolutely have to.
I do the same. I'm like stocking up. And even the Benjamin, like I know a lot of people come in and they're like, oh, but like, do they have a lot of boy stuff? I'm like, oh yeah, the boy. It's kind of amazing how much boy stuff they have. And I get like all of Benjamin's basics just because, like you said,
too.
they
Shoes
just,
are great to get there. Play shoes.
Play shoes, even like shoes, like he's not going to wear that much, like church shoes that he's like
Right.
going to have for like special occasions.
Yeah.
I just get him there because he's not going to wear them that much. And it looks like probably the same thing happened with the boy who had them before. Like he wore them like the one or two times.
Right.
he had
And then they
to.
grow out of them.
And they grow
Yes,
out of them
so
so
quickly.
fast. Yeah. So I'm so excited for swimsuits because I've gotten Paige the cutest swimsuits there. Some with like brand new tags, like ruffle butts and all the things. So
Mhm.
I got Benjamin 2 Eddie Bauer swim shorts there last year.
Oh, nice.
And they were together and it was like I think it was like $5.
I'll tell you, my husband and I had the biggest argument after this. So I went there and there was a Little Tikes Jeep toddler bed, which was the biggest item there. And obviously, like, I'm a sucker. And every time I go, Brittany's like, oh, look what's over on the big side.
Well, I've been there and I'm like, this
Yeah.
would be I can just see like Aubrey's gonna love this. I gotta
Okay.
show her this.
Well, I told my husband, I was like, I need you to go pick it up. 'Cause it was bad. He comes and one of the Jeep lights was off. And I was like, where? Like, please tell me it's in the truck with you. And he goes, oh my God, it must have blew off. Like, on the way here. I was like, you are kidding me. And I went to like look for a replacement part and they were like, no, we don't make it anymore. Sorry. So I'm like working on making like a foam ball. There to replace it. I was like, I cannot believe you would take them off. And he goes, I didn't know they came off.
Oh.
I'm never having you pick something up for me again.
That's so funny.
But yeah, no, it is the cutest bed though. So
Oh. Yeah, usually the dads come in and their job is to like, hold the bags
Yes.
or corral the kids
Yeah.
or pull the car around.
yes, load it up.
Yeah.
So there is a sale coming up, spring and summer sale. When is it? Where is it? And can you explain a little bit about like how it does open to the public when you don't need a ticket, but
Mhm.
what the pre-sale ticket is about and all of that?
Yes. Yes. And some people do kind of get confused as far as like the public dates that are advertised in pre-sale. So it's going to be at the Winchester Sportsplex, and that's down off of Valley Avenue in the Kernstown area of Winchester. So I think the address is 221 Commonwealth Court. So we're on both sides of that Sportsplex. The public days are March 21st through the 24th. Which is a Friday through a Monday. And then our pre-sale is March 19th and 20th. So that starts Wednesday night, the 19th, and then goes all day Thursday, March 20th. So that's pre-sale. So you do have to have a ticket to shop on the 19th or the 20th. There are both free and paid options. So Wednesday night, like is the very first shopping time at 5 p.m. That's our premier fundraiser shopping. So that is our most expensive ticket, but you do get in first. So you get the first pick of everything, and a portion of that ticket goes to benefit the Winchester SPCA, which we always love to help them out. And then we also offer the opportunity to bring in dog or cat food or diapers for CCAP in addition to, that ticket. And then you can come even 30 minutes before your ticket times. And that goes for Wednesday and Thursday, all of the tickets.
Any tickets?
Any tickets, yes. So there's 2 ticket times on Wednesday the 19th, that premier one at 5 o'clock, and then there's the platinum at 7 p.m. And then we're open until 9 o'clock that night. So all of those tickets include 2 people. So you can bring a friend and split the cost. And really the benefit of the pre-sale ticket is that you do get that first selection, and we don't price the items, the consigners price them. So if you're looking for, say, like a cozy coop or something, and we have 10 of them, they can, range in price from $20, $100, and you're going to be able to come in and pick that $20 one. Whereas somebody that doesn't have a pre-sale ticket is going to come in and, have to look at what's left, and they may end up spending more money in the long run. So really, we like to say the pre-sale ticket pays for itself. I really think that it does. Because you're able to get, the nicest things and at the best prices.
Yeah.
So Wednesday night, and then Thursday, the 20th, we do have some paid tickets in the morning. We have gold shopping at 9 a.m. But then that's when we also have our free consigner shopping. We have mom to be. If you're expecting, we invite you to come in and shop pre-sale for free, so you can get the things that you need early before we open to the public. We have military shopping that day, teacher shopping, healthcare shopping. So there's just a lot of different ways that you can shop before we open to the public, but you do need a ticket. Like I said, we do have the paid and the free option. So it just depends when you want to shop, what you're looking to get, really.
How long do you have to consign if you're a consigner?
Yeah, and is it too late? Like if someone is listening to this week, is it too late for them to sign up to consign?
Oh, no, it's not too late. There's still plenty of time. We start moving into the facility on March the 16th, and drop off is March 17th and March 18th. So really, I think we advertise that the drop off deadline, or the deadline to enter your items in our database, is March 16th, which is Sunday. But if you still have some things that you want to throw in there, we will take them up until when you actually have to bring your things in. So we ask that you have an appointment for either March 17th or March 18th, and you can make those on the website. But yeah, there's still plenty of time. And I would say 95% of consigners enter everything right at the last minute.
Yeah. I was going to say,
I'm one of those.
Yeah. I haven't started. And we have our spare room is full of, we call it grandma's room. It's full of stuff. I'm I've got to start getting it together. Is VIP consigning still an option? Do you have availability still for that?
Yes, we still do. And we just hired another VIP processor because that program has grown so much. It's a great option if you're super busy, like we all are.
Yeah.
But VIP consigning is when you sign up to consign, but then we do it for you. So you meet up with one of our VIP processors who are really good at what they do. They love consign for years. They have really high sell-through. They know what they're doing. So you meet up with them, they take all of your stuff, they prep it, price it, transport it to the sale, and you still get the free, early shopping as a consigner pass. But then all you have to do is pick up your check at the end. And it's actually emailed to you, so you don't even have to come if you don't want to.
That's
to pick up.
And you still get a ticket to shop.
You still get the early shopping ticket.
Yeah. That's how I started. I think I VIP consigned 2 or 3 times before I did it myself. And oh my gosh. So,
yeah.
And every year Jason's like, are you sure you don't want to just VIP consign again? Because it does. It's just so easy.
Especially if you have a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yes, it's so time consuming.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Brenda was our VIP consigner. She's great. I don't know how she does it.
I don't know how any of them do it, but they love it and they're so good at it. And it's a great service. I mean, you do make less than if you would consign it yourself. You make 35% of the sales. But if you're comparing that to, say, just taking your stuff to a consignment shop where they're going to, reject most of it and give you pennies on the dollar, you're coming out way ahead.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's someone was like, why would you pay the consignor fee? Why wouldn't you just do your items, individually, through Facebook Marketplace or whatever? And I was like, because I can take it all to one place. I don't have to touch it. They sell it for me. I don't have to worry about meeting up with so-and-so here and so-and-so there. And yeah, for each individual item, I was like, it's worth it to me when I'm, I got 2 toddlers.
The pricing.
Yes, exactly.
People not showing up and all the things. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I got 2 toddlers. I don't have time for that.
Yeah. Plus, there's just something about it. It's so fun to shop there.
It is.
And this is coming from someone who, before I had Benjamin, I went to a different consignment sale. My friend was like, you got to go. You're going to get so many things. And I got there and I was like, I got to get out of here. Stuff was everywhere. And I'm like, I'm a little bit type A. And, but there was just stuff everywhere. I wasn't finding anything. There was just it was just chaos and it was messy and there was clothes on the floor. And I was just like, ugh. And I left and I bought a little book and a pair of shoes that were in a box. And I was like, I'm never doing that again. And then for for a few years, I was like, nope, just no. But then I think, a friend invited me to go to Ria Lana's. And I was like,
Ria
Lana. I'm like, I'm going to hate this, but like, I'll do this for her. Like, I will do this for her. And I got there and I was like, this is so much fun. Like,
it's so organized.
It's so organized. Yeah. The clothes are like nice quality. Like, they have been looked through and made sure like they are good quality. It's neat. It's organized. It's pretty. Like, something about those pink balloons when you get in. You're like, yes, okay.
And the round racks. We always hear about the round racks versus just like rows of stuff to get through.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just so, and now I'm like the biggest, and I'm like, this is someone who was like, I hate consignment shopping because I thought that's all it was. And this is like, I'm like, you got to go. It's so much fun. Yes, you got to get a ticket because the pre-sale is so much fun.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
And I'm like, hype girl. But
I'm a hype girl.
But it's because like we save so much money. And sometimes I feel like I'm like, I have to tell people like, oh, no, we bought this at Riolana's because like Paige is dressed so nicely, but it's because we bought it at Riolana's. And even like our preteens, they love coming and they love shopping the junior section. They find like American Eagle and I think they found like Lululemon leggings and like just really nice. I got a brand new pair of snow pants that were that really like nice brands of snow pants. I don't know the brand, but yeah. So the junior section is amazing.
Yeah, the junior section is the most underrated section, I think, because people just don't think about it. A lot of people just think we're associated with, infant things or, baby gear and equipment, but we really have things through all ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. We even find stuff in the junior section.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten like some nice sweaters and jeans and shoes too. Like really nice shoes. So highly. I love Riolana's. I don't know if you can tell.
You can.
How did you find Riolana's? Because there's not one, or at least there hasn't been one in this area before.
No, there's. I think our closest one before I opened this one was in Ohio.
Okay. Wow.
So there's not any, and now there are. Now there's, I think, 4 in Virginia.
Okay.
Still not super close to here. The next closest is Falls Church, and she just opened last year. And now there's one in, I think, Hampton Roads and Chesapeake, Virginia, getting ready to open. So still not super close. And believe it or not, I had never shopped at a consignment sale like that before I decided to open Riolana's, which is very much unlike most of the company. Most of them have shopped and just loved it so much that they wanted to open one where they're from. So no, that wasn't my story at all. Mine was a little different. I was, full-time working mom. I worked in Washington, D.C. for the federal government before and during. I had both of my kids. And I had my first, now they're 10 and 8, 2 boys. And so after I had my first one, I really just, the whole daily grind of, the corporate, government world, the commute, all of it, I had a higher level position. So I was just really busy. My kids did not sleep at all. My youngest didn't sleep for like 3.5 years. Like, it was awful. And I just got so drained. And I was like, I just can't. And if you would have ever asked me if I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, like before I had kids, I would have said, like, you're nuts. Like, I worked so hard to climb the corporate ladder. I got my master's degree, all of that. All I wanted to do was be, successful in that world. And it's like something about kids. They just change everything when they come. So we hired a full-time nanny because my husband was a first responder. So his schedule was not reliable to, share childcare with. Because when he worked, it was 24 hours and he would have to leave, before the kids were even out of bed in the morning. So
it's frowned upon to leave your kids in bed by themselves.
Correct. Especially when they're infants and crying. But I had to catch a bus to DC at like 6 a.m. And so there was there wasn't daycare open. We didn't have family in the area. So it was really hard. We had a fantastic nanny. And fun fact, she still comes to every single sale. We've had just a great relationship. She's the absolute best. Her name's Rebecca. And she has come here and she lives all the way over on the eastern shore of Maryland because that's where we moved here from.
Oh, okay.
But her and her mom make the trip twice a year over here. They stay in a hotel and they visit us, and it's fantastic. But anyway, long story short, so once I had Carter, my second son, I took an extended leave. I was home for the first 8 months. And I borrowed, leave ahead because you could do that in the government at the time. And I just started looking for other options. Yeah. It's like, this just is not how I want to live my life anymore. Like, I want to be there with my kids. I want to be the one to put them back to sleep when they wake up crying. So there was one morning, I'll never forget it. Carter was up and it was like 4 a.m. because like I said, he never slept and I had to leave to catch the bus. And so I had to hand him crying and screaming to our nanny again, who was wonderful. But then I was just, in tears the whole way to the office. And I breastfed both of them. So I was pumping, taking meetings, like pumping in my office. Like it was just like, oh gosh, I mean, it's amazing what us women do when we try to maintain a job. And so I just started looking. I always wanted to own my own business, but I never knew where to start. So I started looking at franchises. And I would look at like best ones for moms or, flexible franchises that I can do. I knew we couldn't stay in Maryland just because the costs were so outrageous. So we started looking to where we might be able to move to, where my husband's commutes wouldn't be terrible. Because believe it or not, even though we're so much farther out here, he works in Fairfax. It's the same amount of time because it's just a straight shot from this part of town versus like taking the bus and the metro and fighting all that inner DC traffic. So it's really not different time-wise for him. So we looked to move out here. And then I found Riolana's as one of the top franchises at the time for moms, top for flexibility, top for just opportunities, low cost, because I didn't have a lot of money to start one with. And so they're regularly receive awards for being one of the top low cost franchises. So I just thought it was really cool. I'm like, well, I like clothes. I like shopping. Like this sounds like something I can do twice a year. So I can do it around being there for my kids. And so I talked to Riolana, talked to the company, interviewed some of the other franchise owners. And it just, I don't know, it just seemed meant to be. So we just took the leap and I did it. I left my job and then we moved out here and I opened it in 2018.
That's so cool. I never knew how that came to be. So that's so neat.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you guys obviously haven't always been in the sportsplex, which is a really big space.
Yes.
Where did you first start? What was your very first sale? Where was it?
The very first sale was at the Travelodge Hotel in Winchester. Yes.
And how do you know, like, because you say you can consign up until like the day before y'all move in, how do you know how much space you're going to need?
That is the question. So that's always a challenge. But because we're part of a corporate franchise, I mean, they kind of hold your hand all through that. So I knew kind of what to expect on my first sale just based off of following the model. So I knew the kind of, square footage range I would likely need. So it wasn't so hard in the beginning. Now it's because so many people in the community are used to the sale. So I don't know what items are going in the database until they actually enter them. So you can spend 3 months like prepping all of your stuff, getting the hangers on it, the pins, putting the string tags on, but then you might not put them in the system until like the day before drop off. Right. So we always basically plan to double the amount of items in the database like 5 days before the sale. And it's still challenging. It's still super challenging. We're always still like running around trying to find extra tables or racks or, it's just always chaos, but somehow it always comes together.
Literally the last few sales that I've been to from the beginning to the end, I'm like, I don't know how they're going to fit all this stuff in here. Much less it be organized. And every time it is, it's like, I think last sale, I think I just like went to go eat something and I came back and I was like,
I know.
Wow.
Every single season, I'm just blown away by how we make it work.
Yeah.
And I say we, but really it's like our team is amazing. We have the best people. Like our leadership team is fantastic. We have a great group of moms that come back and work with us season after season. We are going to be hiring for this season. Like I'm probably working on that this week and next week. So if you want to come work with us, it's just fun to get out of the house because it's not a full-time commitment. You know it's going to end in 2 weeks. So, your husband can take care of the kids for a couple nights. So you can get out and have some mom time and have some fun.
It is really fun. It's like just hanging out.
It is.
Really fun. And you can like shop. Every night that I come home from Real Honest, Jason's like, so what'd you get today? Oh, you'll never believe it. And I'm there like the whole week, and every day I find new stuff because there's so many things on those shelves. So good.
So good.
So good. And then there's half price.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Do you want to talk about when half price starts?
Yes.
And how that works?
So at the end of the sale, we have our last 2 days. Items that don't have a red dot on the tag are half price. So as a consignor, you can choose whether you allow your items to go half price at the end of the sale or not. That is your choice. We don't do it automatically. We always recommend that consignors do that just because overall you're going to make a lot more money that way. And once you get that stuff out of your house, you really don't want it to come back.
Yeah.
So our half price, we do a half price pre-sale that's similar to our regular pre-sale. But if you do buy a ticket or get a free ticket to our regular pre-sale on Wednesday or Thursday, you get a free ticket to shop half price early, and that's on Saturday night. So Saturday night, March 22nd, and then all day Sunday, March 23rd, and then Monday, March 24th Yes. Monday, March 24th from 9 to 2 is our final day. And those are all half price days.
When does the half price sale open to the public if they don't have a ticket?
Sunday.
Sunday night?
Yes. Sunday all day.
Sunday all day.
Yes.
Okay.
9 to 7.
Okay. What happens to consigners' things if they don't sell and they choose to donate? Where do they go?
Yeah. So you can choose to donate or not. If you don't donate, then we have a pickup day that you can come and get your items. But if you do choose to donate, we work with a lot of local charities in the area that come in and take them. But first, before we allow them to come in, we have a foster shopping time. And that is on Tuesday, the 25th from 2 to 3 p.m. So right after consignor pickup, we invite area foster families to come in and take what they need for their foster children. Because they know it's a big thing in this area, the need for foster parents. And it's, it's such a giving thing to be a foster family and to be able to give them things that help make that easier for them. It's definitely a blessing. And we love that. It's our favorite part of the sale.
Do all Riolana's franchises do that, or is that something specific to you all?
We all do it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We all do it.
That's really neat.
Yeah. And you don't have to be local, here in Virginia. You just have to have paperwork showing the foster child in your care, like from the court system or from your foster agency, and you bring that with you. And then we just verify it at the door, and you're welcome to take anything that you need.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then after that, it's usually like Froggy's Closet will come as well.
Okay.
Because they're a local foster organization here in town. CCAP is one of our biggest donation partners as well. We don't donate to organizations that will resell it. So like a thrift store, things like that. We want to make sure that they're going directly to people who need them. Yeah.
That's great. Before you opened up your first sale, did you go to other Riolana sales, or did you just interview the owners of different sales and then just go for it?
No, so they do a training as part of owning the franchise. So I went to Arkansas and I worked at one of Riolana's sales, her own sales, very large sales.
Yeah.
So I worked there for the week and then did like training on the side with like their development and training team.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what's also great about the company is they sent someone from corporate to my first sale. So, I had them there right next to me, helping me through step by step. Yeah. Which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Since your first sale, how much would you say, how have you guys grown? You've clearly grown, but.
Yes. Oh gosh, we've grown. It's been slow and steady over the years. And most recently though, since COVID, I know a lot of businesses struggled, but ours picked up just because of the nature of the business. And so from that first sale in 2018 to now, we've grown almost 10 times.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's hard to believe looking back at some of those old pictures now. How did we get from here to here?
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's surreal.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Your leadership team, you keep them on staff the whole year and then you just get people for the season, or how does that?
No, so we don't work. I mean, they are part of the leadership team year round, but we don't really, and that's the great thing about business is we don't work year round. I mean, there's a ramp up period, I would say 6 to 8 weeks before the sale. Actually, this past Friday, we had our leadership retreat meeting where we all got together at a restaurant and we went over, some things that we want to implement, some things that, we learned from the last sale that we're trying to figure out how to do better. So so they are with me in the off season, but we usually start about 2 months before the sale.
Okay.
And then we open up hiring for, everyone else, usually about a month before. So like I said, I'll be working on that this week, but we're always looking for moms who just want to come in and put in a couple of hours here and there, helping, with customer service or merchandising, helping consignors check their items in, things like that. So
if there's a mom listening who would be interested in doing that, how do they go about, do they apply somewhere or?
Yeah, we'll be putting out an application. It's like an information form on a Google Doc. It'll be coming out hopefully this week. If we don't have too much snow, my kids are home from school all week. But yes, hopefully this week I'll be getting that out, and then I'll be posting it on our social media and in our consignor club and sending an email. I'll do an email blast as well. We need as many people as we can get.
If someone's coming to shop, what are a few tips that you would say to prepare to be ready? Because if you just come, it can be a little overwhelming if you don't have a list or
yes,
a cart or
I would say definitely have a list. Know your kids' shoe sizes.
Mhm.
It's one thing we always say is like measure their foot just so you're sure. I mean, you can bring your kids. We like to pre-sale is kind of crazy. So we always say if you have an option to leave them at home, and I always say option because some sales don't allow kids, but I know I don't have any childcare. So if I couldn't bring mine, I probably couldn't come. And I know some people are probably in the same situations. We just say if you have to bring them, just make sure that they stay with you.
Mhm.
You don't use the toy section as a, playground and everything's fine. But I would say, yes, know the sizes, know the shoe sizes, bring a wagon or some large shopping bags. We do have bags. We do run out sometimes, especially during pre-sale. We try to have enough that it always happens that we run out. But it seems like the moms that are like, know what they're doing always have the big wagons
Yeah.
that they can hang, the hangers around or a big stroller and then shopping bags. Yeah.
Yeah, my first time I saw a ton of wagons and I was like, what are they doing? Like, do we really gonna need that's kind of crazy. And then as my arms grew and grew full of stuff, I was like, I should have brought a wagon.
Yeah.
Or like your stroller without your kid in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
We see a lot of that.
I put like my kids, all of their sizes, like shirts, pants, and shoes, because I get in there and I blank.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that. And then
Well, you also have a lot of kids.
That's true.
It's a lot.
I just sound like it is. But when you get in there and you start looking, and then I also I make a strategy. Like I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this kid first and then go to this one. And I go from youngest to oldest because it just seems like the youngest get picked over first, or like the toddler section gets picked over first. Maybe that might just be me. I don't know. Being like, I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
But so I do that. I start with the youngest and then go to the oldest. But that's
And we say for half price to plan a size or two ahead.
yeah.
So we do a lot of people, especially for babies.
Yeah.
If you come in and then you buy the next 6 months worth of infant clothes, you can get, our half prices start at $2. And a lot of times you can get a bundle of, 3 to 6 outfits for $2. You can't beat that. So definitely plan to shop ahead for those seasons if you can.
Yeah. When Angela says bundles, she's saying when clothes are put together for sale, you can find a bunch of clothes. I get especially I love when there's 4 pairs of pants bundled for $4, $6. And then if it's half off, it's $2 or $3 and you're getting multiple pairs of pants or outfits or whatever. So I love that. I love looking for the bundles. I also always look a size up because just sizes vary if something's been worn and shrunk. So and
there's some brands that run larger or smaller. And we do get that question a lot because consigners are I know this, this tag says it's this size, but I know with my own kid, it really should fall under this size. What do I do? So it's always good to check the sizes below and above the size that you think you're in just to see.
Well, and they are worn, so I feel I usually go up a size too, just with washing,
right?
And, shrinking. But
it's like a treasure hunt. It's so fun.
It is fun.
Okay. So let's get personal.
Oh.
So you're a mom, and we like to do this thing on here when we interview moms. Can you, or do you have a most embarrassing mom moment or mom story that you'd like to share?
Yes. Gosh. I mean, there's so many.
I mean, you can pick more than one if you really want to embarrass yourself.
2 boys, I definitely. No, I would say there's one thing that really sticks out in my mind. And again, it's just because, before I became a stay-at-home mom, just all of just the rushing and just trying to be so perfect with your first kid and, do all of this stuff. And he was in preschool. He was 2 at the time. It's my oldest. He's now 10. And I would say I was the only mom, I'm pretty sure, that worked full time that took their kid to the preschool. Everybody else were stay-at-home moms. They would bring all these craft things in every week and all these homemade snacks and things like that. And so they were doing a bake sale, I think it was at the time. And so you had to bring in, so much stuff for your kid to participate in the fundraiser and the bake sale. And like I said, I was a working mom. I was busy and I was stressed. And so it's what am I going to do? I can't even bake. I hate baking. I hate it. And so I went and I bought a bunch of store-bought cookies and treats. And then I put them in my own containers. I made it look like, I did this. Here's. So yeah, that was one of my most embarrassing moments.
Did they ask for the recipe?
I know. Do these look a little too perfect when you crumble up? So yeah, that's something that definitely that embarrassed me. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love that. We had a church thing where we were supposed to bring a dish, and I guess I forgot to relay the message to mom. And so I made like a butter board, which at the time was like all the rage. And I brought something for Aubrey because I knew she was busy. So me and Aubrey were covered. But my mom gets in the car and she's like, so what's for dinner? And I was like, I don't know. What did you bring? And she was like, and I'm like, what did you bring? And she was like, we're supposed to bring something. So we're already late. We have to pull into Mars. She runs in and she gets something. She comes out.
It's like brownie bites or something.
Yeah. And she like fixes them up so they don't look store-bought.
Yeah.
And we are in the line with like the cute, sweet church ladies who have probably been making their things from scratch all day. And the one lady's like, oh, like we made a joke about something and they were like, oh, did you bring those? And we're like, oh no, mom did. She's behind us. And they were like, oh, Paige, what's your recipe? And mom's like, oh, she's just like trying to play it off really good. And they're like, Mom, just tell them you bought them from the store. Like, she's like, no, like, oh, they're just brownies. Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
It was just, I mean, me and Aubrey are just in the line, just done.
That's the same night that they made an announcement that like someone's car door was open and the car was on, and they're like giving the description of the vehicle, and we're like, oh my god. Oh
we're
my
like,
god.
there, we're like,
that's us.
Yeah,
and then you do like the get up of shame because everyone's seated, and so it was like,
so not only did we bring the store-bought
brownies,
bites,
we all like hopped out the car. The doors.
We were so frazzled. We left the car doors open and the car on. But I think also we were like, oh, when do we all get to go out?
We were so excited.
To the church. I don't even know what it was.
Hang out with the ladies.
Yeah. It was like it was really like a dessert swap. I don't know. It's like food and
was it the paint?
Sweet and savory night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like depending on your last name, you brought something sweet or savory. Yeah. It was. There was other stuff to it than just eating, but
yeah.
But I think we were just all excited. Like we have no kids.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's just so many things.
So we left the door open and the car on.
Yeah. And then I had one time that I had to call poison control for my youngest. That was super embarrassing. It's like, you always have the one child, right?
Yeah.
Like everything happens with the one. Yeah, he's super glued his pants to his leg. He was working on a project, and granted, like we needed the super glue, like the glue stick wasn't working. So against my better judgment, I gave him the super glue, and it's possible to completely.
How old was he at this point?
I think he was like 4 or 5.
Oh,
it was a couple years ago.
Did he freak out?
Oh my God. Not really. I was the one freaking out.
What did you have to do?
I call poison control, and apparently, if this ever happens to you, nail polish remover.
Okay.
You get some nail polish, like the acetone based only. So the natural nail polish remover doesn't cut it. But if you get the acetone based nail polish remover, you can get the skin to release from the pants.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was really embarrassing.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Luckily it was at home, not like at school or anything. But
are you about to talk about the slime?
Oh. Well, I was going to tell an embarrassing story for Aubrey. When she was little.
Thanks.
It was like sort of traumatizing because my dad, we lived in a really old house. No. Like it was traumatizing for you. We lived in an old house. We had mice. So my dad would bring home these like
we had
large.
We didn't have like mice, but like
we had a mouse every now and then. Yeah, we had a mouse every now and then.
We lived on a farm, and it was an old farmhouse. So,
we don't need to justify this. Everybody has mice every now and then.
You're not overrun with rodents in your house.
So my dad would bring home these like industrial like.
Yeah, they weren't like the little boxes with like a sticky pad. They were like
it was like a huge
like a brick
of like sticky stuff. Yeah. And like so like a couple years a little bit before this, like Trey's girlfriend's dog got stuck in it. Like we were supposed to be dog sitting the dog and the dog got stuck in it. And like it was awful. And they are bad. Well, Aubrey, I don't know why, but she like went behind the TV and she's in her little tutu ballet outfit, and she stepped in it. Oh. And I guess she was like, oh, well, I'll just put my other foot down and pull it off. So both of her feet were stuck in it. And she was like hopping to mom and she's like, Mom, I'm stuck. And my mom was like horrified. Like, I don't know what to do because this stuff is like.
It's so thick.
Yeah. So she had to call my dad who worked in the plant at the time. So they had to like intercom him. And his assistant at the time was like, David Gum, one of your hoodlum children are stuck in a mousetrap.
Heathen child.
Heathen.
Yes.
Whatever. And
See,
my mom still talks about how embarrassing that was. Like everybody in the plant knew that like dad's child was stuck to a mousetrap. And I don't remember how. It was something like that too, like some serious.
It was like
mineral oil or something. Yeah, that they had to. I don't know.
But during COVID, and this is why I do not allow slime in our house. So during COVID, I was like at home with Benjamin all the time. And Mom came over and we were going to order Mexican because that's what we did. Like it was the one thing, like we'll go order Mexican. It'll be a little normal. So everyone would meet at my house for dinner. So I was like, I'll go pick it up. And Mom's like, yeah, I'll stay here with him. This is great. So I was getting out. I didn't even make it off our road. And I get a picture from my mom. And she's like, ha ha ha, he's making a helmet. And I was like, what? And I like look at it. And Benjamin has slime in his head. And I was like
a whole helmet.
Helmet. Before I can dial her number, my phone's ringing. And she's frantic. I can hear him crying in the background. And I'm like, should I turn around? And I'm like, Mom, slime is glue. And she was like, what? He's crying. It's stuck. And I'm just like, just. And she's like, no, go get the food and come back. It'll be fine. So he's not crying anymore. I'm like, okay. So I come back in the house and I kid you not, like I'm like walking in and she's got a little tiny piece of hair and scissors to it. Oh. And I'm like, stop. And she's like, I'm trying to help. And I was like, that's not what I'm doing. Like, it's his whole head. Yeah. Because, slime like seeps. Yeah. Like, it doesn't just stop. It just keeps going. And it's to the scalp. He was in the bathtub for hours. We used
Dawn dish soap, like all kinds of stuff.
Aubrey was at work. She brought home like mineral oil. Like I don't know why they had it in the lab, but you got it from the lab I don't know. So mineral oil, Dawn, and combing it, and just like a million times washed his head. I got out as much as I could. He went to sleep that night and his pillow was stuck to his head because I couldn't get it all out. And literally for like weeks, he had still like little orange pieces in his hair. And we laugh about it because when the girls met Benjamin for the first time, when Jason and I were dating, he still had like orange hair. And they're like, oh yeah, remember? And I'm like, that had happened weeks prior.
Oh yeah.
So I
probably didn't want to get a bath after that for a long time.
Yeah. He was so over it.
He was. And at the time he hated baths anyways.
Yeah.
It was a very emotional night. Everybody was crying at one point.
But no hair was cut off.
There might have been a little piece cut off.
Well, yeah. We didn't get there.
There was a little bit. And it was like with kitchen scissors. But I'm thankful that I'm not thankful that they weren't in school because of COVID. But luckily, I can only imagine, like, we didn't have to go anywhere. Like, the only people I had to explain why his hair was orange was to, like, family who saw us. Otherwise, like, can you imagine, like, I'm sorry. You made a helmet with slime.
It was my mother. I loved her.
I just love, like, I still have the picture, like, look, he's making a helmet. Isn't he so cute? I was like,
it turned around very quickly.
Yeah.
Mom will still be like, oh, this is the worst.
Yeah. No slime is allowed in any of our houses now.
But so turning that to, like, your experience with Riolanas or just working mom life, what is your most embarrassing, like, business moment?
Oh, goodness. So I still have to laugh about this one. It's still funny this many years later. And we do have a lot of people that consign and shop with us that were at this very first sale and can attest to this. But the sale that I did, the first one at the Travelodge in Winchester, we used their conference room that is you had to go up to like the second floor. I don't know what floor it was, but it was elevated. And it had a beautiful view of, the Winchester Mountains all around. And so when we toured it, that's what we saw. And it was like, I think it was like it was a random day that like the place was not inhabited. Like it was a ghost town. So we didn't see anyone around. Like nothing seemed odd or out of place. So we're like, this is great for our first sale. Because believe it or not, Winchester does not have a lot of event space.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a sportsplex. There's a couple of hotels with very small rooms. We really need a conference center or something like that. But there's just not a lot of options around here at all. So we're like, okay, this will work for the first one. I mean, Travelodge is not like the nicest, but I mean, I'm also brand new and don't have a high budget. So we'll go with this.
Yeah.
Well, when we first moved in and actually started the sale, It was much different during like prime weekend day than it was when we signed the contract there. When we started moving in, we noticed that the whole place reeked of marijuana. It was so bad. It was so bad. And there was nothing that anyone would do.
Was it
about
like immediate? Like you guys walked in and you were like,
well, you kind of like everybody, you just smell it, right? And you just know. And yeah, so we started to smell it and we're like, no, this is a fluke. Like there's just a bad, person down beneath us or whatever, and it's going to go away. And we had that space for 12 days. And for all 12 days, it stunk. It was so embarrassing. So people came in and everybody noticed it. So we had like candle warmers everywhere. We're spraying Febreze all over, which really just masks it. It makes it 10 times worse. So it didn't help. It didn't help. But it was like, we have to do something. Yeah, it was a nightmare. It really was.
How old were your kids at the time?
Oh gosh, they were, again, was 3 and Carter was probably like 16 months. They were so small.
Okay, so they weren't like, Mom, what's that smell?
No, they weren't. But then we had like all of these, our schedule was longer back then because that was the corporate model. It's now since shortened because we're so much bigger, but we did all of these like family oriented activities for that first sale. We brought in the Chick-fil-A cow. We had face painting. We had balloon animals, like all through. It was a whole thing. Yeah. And we did get some reviews about it too. And I'm like, gosh darn, people, like, it's not my fault. And I swear I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Were they really negative about it?
Yeah, we had a couple.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, obviously, I don't know if they thought it was us or what, but like, clearly this is a children's event. Like, this is not what our, intentions were. But
oh my God.
I mean, looking back, it makes for some fun laughs. But at the time, it was definitely not funny for our very first.
Were your sales high though?
No pun intended.
They were high. They were
very
one of the highest in the company for that first sale.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is so funny. Did you guys have your next sale there?
Nope.
Did you ever go back there?
Nope.
Okay. So
They did try to get us to come back.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Did you guys ever like complain or anything? Like did they give you any they should have given you a discount or something like?
Yeah, they did.
A bad smell discount.
No, I don't know. There was a whole lot that went on in that place beyond.
That is I mean, it's for a good story now. Like, look,
yeah, it is. Looking back, I mean, we were new to the area too, so we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't know like what's a good location, what's not. We were
Yeah.
just trying to make something work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Where was your next one?
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
The next one was at the Hampton Inn
Okay.
in Winchester, over on like the Route 7 side, like right off of the 81 interchange.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other side of town completely.
Oh yeah, I've seen where there's been like some event. They have some people have events.
Yeah, and that was definitely nicer, but that had its whole other set of challenges because we had to use multiple rooms because they didn't have a room big enough, and you had to go down in like the basement. So imagine consigners trying to bring their stuff downstairs, or like, it was challenging for sure.
How long were you guys there? How many sales?
One sale. So we did the first spring sale at the Travelodge, and then we did our first fall sale there, and then we outgrew that really quickly too. And from there, we went to the turf field only on the Sportsplex for I think maybe like 2 years.
Okay.
And then ever since then, we've been on both sides.
So you've been at the Sportsplex for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I thought so you guys moved there fast. That's good.
Yes. There's really nowhere else in town.
Yeah.
Truly. I mean, there are, despite there being a lot of open like retail complexes and like strip malls that have gone out of business since then, it's really difficult for a short-term lease.
Yeah.
I can't believe though, that they wouldn't be interested in renting like something like, well, we have it. This is set empty. Like, yeah, we'll rent it for a week or whatever.
Exactly.
Spirit Halloween does it.
Yeah,
I
know. I know. And we used them as an example when we tried, and we just weren't able to.
That's crazy.
Make it work.
Well, the Sportsplex, the guy there, he has good snacks.
There's concessions.
Yes. An interesting place. There's a lot going on there now. It's changed so much over the years as well. So much.
Yeah. I did hear last time that I don't know, there was a family shopping there, and the dad had the kids upstairs. There's like a bounce house room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, that's a really good hack.
Yeah.
Take your kids to go to the bounce house and go.
I did, because it's kind of like a tinted window up there, and I looked up and I was like, is that a bounce house? It's so random.
It's so random. Yeah. And then next to him is like the baseball, private coach guy who does like the pitching lessons that we hear all the time. And there's the bounce house. There's the gymnastics studio. There's the soccer leagues that come in at like 10 p.m.
My favorite.
The little weight gym in the middle.
Oh, no, they're gone.
Oh.
Yeah. And then my favorite also is when the spring sale when there's also sometimes a dog show
Oh, yeah.
going on the
Yes.
weekends.
Y'all have to be out. Like, yeah.
It's outside.
Dogs take precedence a lot. Yeah.
Although my kids like that. So that actually was like, they want to go watch the dog sale.
I mean, it does bring people in.
On the dog sale.
Dog sale.
You cannot buy dogs.
Yeah.
They're not for sale.
Yeah, the dog sale is
That's
show. No, the dog sale was a fun time. There was one year where they did like dock diving outside. Like they brought in like the big pool. You know, the dogs that dive into the water. They did a whole thing with that one year, and that was really cool.
Oh, that's crazy.
Huh. Yeah.
So high budget for these dog shows.
So we have the spring summer sale coming up. Can you just remind everybody the dates and how to get tickets and where to find the sale on social?
Yes. So we're on Instagram and Facebook, RL of Winchester. Our Facebook page is kind of in flux at the moment. We're battling with Facebook. It's down, but it's going to be back up soon, hopefully. But our Instagram page is still up, RL of Winchester. Our website is winchester.realana.com, and that's RHEALANA.com. And so that has our full event schedule. There's the link to get the tickets there, all the information that you need, as well as my information. Everybody can reach out to me if you have any specific questions. But we open to the public March 21st through the 24th, and that pre-sale is March 19th and the 20th. So, and there's still plenty of time to consign. And if you don't want to do it yourself, you can reach out about the VIP program, but there is a VIP sign up link on our website as well.
And we highly recommend getting tickets to the pre-sale.
Yes.
And one ticket is for 2 people, so you can split the cost with a friend and go shop. And the pre-sale is just really fun. It's a different vibe.
It is. It's a fun night out. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, we were going to have a lot of different things planned for this year that we haven't done before to try to help with like the line flow. And we're going to be implementing some fun different things. So I'm definitely excited about it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Is there anything else you wanted to add or talk about that we might have missed over?
No, I think we covered everything. Yeah.
Well, we'll link all the social and the website and stuff too.
Okay,
so
great.
if you're listening, you can get it in the information section.
Great. Yeah. I hope you all come see us.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Sponsored by White House Foods, a family-owned and operated apple grower and processor located in Winchester, Virginia. Whether you want to kick off the fall season with apple butter, pour some vinegar in your drink to support your gut health, or need a quick applesauce pouch snack for your kiddos, White House has been serving generations of consumers since 1908. From our house to yours, White House.